Welcome to The Shoreline, brought to you by Shores and Islands, Ohio, where finding your Lake Erie love is a sure thing. Thank you for joining us today. I am Jill Fowler. I'm the PR manager at Shores and Islands, Ohio. And joining me, as always, is my co-host, Dayton Barnett, who manages our social media. Hey, Dayton, what's going on?
Present. I'm just getting myself together and trying to hold things together as we are quickly rolling into the summer season.
Yeah.
My schedule and my daily life gets kind of hectic.
Oh, I can't even imagine how busy it's going to be for you this summer. We are heading into, I guess unofficially heading into the summer season since this is Memorial Day weekend. Really looking forward to another wonderful summer up here on the North Coast. And I bet you are just getting, ready to go out and probably going to head over to the island soon and get some content over there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Honestly, I spend a lot of time on the islands, more than I thought I would, but I definitely want to spend a lot more time on specifically what we're going to talk about today, Kelleys Island. I spent a lot of time in Put in Bay, but I definitely want to kind of spread out this year and try to capture a lot more events on some of those other islands.
Absolutely. And I personally am a huge fan of Kelleys Island as well. And, a few weeks ago, we had Wendy from the Put in Bay Chamber on. We got to talk about some of the events and things that are going on at Put in Bay this summer, and today we're taking you to another island. But before we jump into that, just to let you know, Dayton and I, we are here every week to give you the inside scoop on what's happening in our island and coastal communities. We love to share events and attractions and everything that we think that you guys will want to know more about. So if you're not already, make sure you're following Dayton. Follow all of our social media accounts. You can find those on our website, shoresandislands.com. So today, as Dayton already stated, we are virtually traveling to Kelleys Island, and we're going to get a little bit cultured. Joining us on the podcast today is Carmen Smith. Carmen Smith is the artist who manages the Charles Herndon Galleries and Sculpture Gardens. Carmen graduated with a BFA in small jewelry and metals from Bowling Green State University, Dayton. You got another BG alum on here. And they also have an MFA in sculpture from Columbus College of Art and Design. After graduate school, they opened a store in Toledo, Ohio that sold beads, books, and held beading classes. After learning so much about running a business, Kelleys Island was the next stop. Carmen started working at the Herndon Galleries as a gallery assistant in 2021 and has continued to learn and enjoy the work. Welcome, Carmen, to the Shoreline. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course. We're so glad to have you on. So before we started taping, we talked a little bit about your history and what brought you to Kelleys Island, but tell the folks that are listening a little bit about how you ended up on Kelleys Island, first of all.
Yeah, so I grew up coming here really on weekends and summers, so it wasn't super a part of the community at that point, but after I ran my business in Toledo and that closed, I was kind of looking for the next step, and my husband is in the Navy, so I kind of needed to decide, was I going to go live in Virginia and, on a military base, or where was I going to go? And because I went to Columbus College of Art and Design, where Charles taught, I had that connection with him, and they needed a gallery manager. So instead of living in Virginia, where I think I would be alone a lot, my husband's deployed quite a bit, I came here and worked in my field, and have just really enjoyed it.
Oh, that's wonderful. So tell us a little bit about Charles Herndon. Who is he, and why does he have a gallery on Kelleys Island?
Yeah, so Charles grew up coming here as well. His grandmother owned a house here, and he grew up walking the beach, going in the lake as all of us do, picking up stones, finding underneath the stones spiders and bugs and shells and beautiful things. So from there, growing up, he grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and just was an artist. I mean, from day one, I think he was an artist, has made just a ton of artwork in his life. And just through it all has come back to the island every time, even made work decisions, employment decisions based on proximity to the island. He went to Syracuse University for his master's degree, and they offered him a job, but he also was offered a job at Columbus College of Art and Design and took that one to be closer to the island. So it's a place that has a huge place in his heart. And it's also a place that provides his material. he uses almost exclusively island stone to make his sculptures.
Oh, wow. So how does one use, is it limestone, or do you know what the makeup of the stone is?
Yeah, so he does use limestone. A lot of his limestone he was able to pick from the quarry as they were actually quarrying the walls of it. So he would go and look and find cool fossils and things and say, I want a few pieces from this area and that area. So that's cool. And then the other type of stone from the island that he uses is called glacial stone. And I say from the island because it's been here for tens of thousands of years, but originally it was from the Canadian Shield and came with the glaciers. So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. He's been creating art for a long time then.
Yes. Yeah, his whole life. And he is 74 now.
So what kind of things are on display in the gallery itself?
So inside, Charles does paintings as well as sculpture. And so inside you can see a lot of his paintings as well as the sculptures he does that are made out of stone that can't stay outside. So the limestone is too soft. If it stays outside, it'll get washed away, eroded, damaged. So anything that just can't live outside, is indoors at the galleries. And then outside we have some beautiful steel sculptures and stone sculptures from all different periods in Charles's career.
So I'm learning here too, along with the sculptures and the artwork. I think you guys have gardens as well.
Yeah, so the sculpture garden is a huge area that has sculptures, but we have paths through the woods and through the property that people can walk on. We also have an area that's currently being finished that was funded by one of our Shores and Islands Destinations grants. It's a patio overlooking the water that people can come and sit, have a picnic, hang out, whatever they want to do.
Oh, that's nice. I don't know if it was exactly where, because I was new to the area, but right when I started working for Shores and Islands, we went on this tour. I think the group was called Galia, Glia.
Yeah.
I think we might have went on a tour there, and that was my first time checking out the place. So I think I've been there once. I just don't remember because it was almost 2 years ago. But it was a beautiful place, and there's lots of work around. And so so you have the gardens. Obviously, people can see. What else can people see in the gardens, and how can visitors use them?
Yeah, so it's a beautiful place to just, like I said, come sit, hang out. We encourage people to bring a picnic, bring a snack, and just find a place to watch nature. We have a ton of birds on the property. We have put up many bird houses, different ones throughout the season to attract the different birds that are around. House sparrows, especially, we have a lot of those, and they're very active. So it's interesting to watch them fly in and out of the different houses and carrying things in their mouths. And
that's awesome. As you guys are trying to, of course, always keeping people coming in for new things. We heard that you guys on Thursdays are doing demo days. What kind of demonstrations do you guys do on those days?
So this was really exciting. Last year was our first year doing this, but we have Jackie Polofka, who's the owner at Double Dip Studios, and she blows glass here every Thursday. So she has a whole studio set up with a furnace, and she does different demos. Sometimes people say, "Oh, can you make this?" And she'll try that. So it's very immersive. The crowd is very involved in that. And then this year, I will be able to do some demos as well. So I'll be pouring molten sterling silver into various things, which sounds kind of silly. But if you pour molten silver into spaghetti that's kind of tight together, it turns into this really cool stalagmite sort of shape. And if you pour it into beans and rice and noodles, it turns into these coral shapes. So different things you pour it into, it turns into different, it makes different shapes. So I'll be doing some of that, which is really fun. And then I'll also be doing some weaving and other textile work. So I'll also be doing demonstrations.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Is that all day, or is it certain hours throughout the day?
We do 11 till 4, which is our normal hours during, that we're open. Yeah.
So the gallery is normally open from 11 until 4. Is that 6 days a week, 7 days a week?
So the gallery's open from Thursday through Monday, 11 till 4. We're closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but the gardens are open dusk till dawn every day. So people are welcome to come and walk around, and, the indoor might not be open, but the outdoor gardens offer so much.
So it's a beautiful place to come and visit, even when the gallery is not open. You can still go and enjoy the gardens and see all of the outdoor sculptures. Like you said, maybe bring a picnic. But if you want to get into the meat of all of the arts and things that are available there, it's best to come Thursday through Monday.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great.
So do you guys host any special events throughout the year?
Yeah, so we had a wonderful party for the eclipse. We had quite a few people here, and we watched it from our new patio. Yeah.
What a cool place.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it was so cool. This summer, we'll have a grand opening for that patio on the 15th of June, and that we'll have Brian Shiflett, who works there at Shores and Islands.
We know him.
Yeah, he'll be coming out to play music. And we had him play last year, and it was such a cool event. He is so good at what he does. So he'll be playing that. And then August 24th, we are having an afternoon with Janis, which will just be a party that will be all Janis Joplin things. We'll have music. We hope to have live music. We'll have drink specials, food, dancing. We would like to have a look-alike contest,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's going to be super, super fun this year.
How fun is that?
So in September, we are part of the Art and Wine Fair, which was started by the Kelleys Island Wine Company and includes 4 different locations: the wine company, the Monarch Winery, the Crooked Tree Winery, and then us. So every place has wine, every place has art. We'll have vendors. Yeah, it'll be really fun and very, very artistic. So bring your wallets, bring your artistic eye,
I wanted to ask also, just because when I was out there last year, I think, or maybe it was 2 years ago now already, and had met you, Carmen, you had some of your art on display and for sale as well. So I guess a couple of questions in here. Are there other artists besides Charles Herndon exhibiting?
Yeah, so we have we call them our visiting artists, and that includes me, Carmen Smith. My business name is Textured by Carmen, and I make jewelry, and I also do some fiber work, but I don't have much of that for sale quite yet. I'm still learning on that. But then we also have Jackie Polovka, who does our glass blowing demonstrations, and she sells all sorts of beautiful glassware, and she has these really nice window hangs that say Kelleys Island and have a really beautiful script on them. And then we have Brian Fuchs, who is our resident photographer and land sculptor. So he does all of our bush sculpting, and then he mows and does things like that. And then he takes photographs, and he's available to take wedding photographs, all that sort of stuff through us.
So there's the gallery. There are things that are just to enjoy, to see, that are beautiful, but there are also art pieces that are for sale.
Oh, yes. So all of the work is for sale.
Okay.
So Charles had a gallery in Columbus and a gallery in Cleveland when he was actively working off the island. But once he retired, everything came to live here. And it's all available for sale if you'd like to take a little piece of the island with you.
And another thing that I noticed when I was there even some gift shop type items. There were T-shirts and postcards and things like that.
Yeah, so we have a lot of items with Charles's work on them or with our logo on them, just to say, hey, you've been here.
Got to have a souvenir.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and if you can't take home a piece of artwork, which we understand it's not in everyone's budget, we have prints both on canvas and on paper, which are much less expensive, but still beautiful. And then we also have, like you said, gift shop items that feature Charles's artwork as well. Yeah.
Great. So you guys are located on Kelleys Island. Can you tell us first, how do you get to Kelleys Island? And then once you're there, you're kind of a hidden gem. How do people find you?
To get to Kelleys, you have to take either the ferry, which is out of Marblehead, or the Jet Express. So from the ferry, if you head towards downtown, you'll take a right on Addison, which our Chamber of Commerce is right there, just there on the left off of Addison. But go down Addison to Woodford and take another right. And down Woodford, you will see the wine company on your right. So if you need a little stop for a drink, you could go there. But if you continue straight, you'll turn left on Monaghan, which is the first street. And we are on the right. You'll turn down Bryan Lane and follow it all the way around, down Dwelly Lane towards the lake. And you'll see our parking. And we actually have a sign on Monaghan that says Herndon Galleries with an arrow, because that turn it looks very private.
So you guys are on east side of the island, correct?
Yeah. Yep, we are on the east point, technically.
And a lot of people don't realize how big Kelleys Island is. I mean, I think it's 4 miles by 4 miles. So, like, you really are, I mean, even though you're on the coast, you're not downtown. You're not kind of in the main area, like where the ferries come in. So you do have to drive around a bit or ride a bike or whatever to get out to find you.
Don't take a skateboard. I learned my lesson the hard way.
You did?
Yes, I was going out to see the Laker You Love sign, and I was like, this is gonna be a breeze. It's only like
it's gonna take you a while on a skateboard.
They are redoing a lot of the streets, though, so it will be smoother next time you have your skateboard.
Awesome. Where can everybody go to find more information on the Charles Herndon Galleries and Sculpture Garden?
Yeah, so our Facebook is really the best place for current information on our activities and our events. And I check the messages on there regularly. So if anybody has any questions, happy to answer them. But charlesherndon.com is our website. And that has, all the information on the gallery. It has Charles's bio and CV and all that good stuff. And also just pictures of what's in the galleries.
That's very cool. It definitely has me excited. Kelleys is my favorite place to visit in the area. And I haven't been yet this year, so now I'm super excited to come out there. I really can't wait to see your new patio. That's exciting. Yeah. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Come see Brian play.
Oh, absolutely. What was that date again? June 15th?
June 15th, yes. It's a Saturday.
Very cool. That'll be great. So this has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you for letting us know all about the Charles Herndon Gallery and the Sculpture Gardens and what you can do out there. Special thanks to Carmen Smith for joining us today. And of course, thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss a minute of the action here in Shores and Islands, Ohio. You can also find more information, including past episodes of this podcast, online at shoresandislands.com. And Dayton and I will see you guys on Kelleys Island soon, and we'll see you next time on The Shoreline.